It's Monday on this morning.
And it is officially macabre. Welcome.
Consider this shit macabre.
Hey, get ready to be spooked, because if you see the heat that we're bringing today, you're going to be spooked out of your mind.
I'm terrified.
I'm freaking out, and it's probably because I've had a big cup of Joe.
Ooh, your morning brown?
Cup of Joseph.
What's your favorite slang term for coffee? Since that is our logo, we should probably get this out of the way.
Yeah. Favorite slang term for coffee
and possible future business venture. Is this the ad? Did we just find ourselves?
No.
Okay.
No. They don't know. They don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. Shut your ears.
Forget I said anything.
My favorite. I like calling it. My. Now I'm just trying to come up with some stupid. I call it my brown morning bidet. I call it my.
Okay, let's go over them. There's Joe, there's Java, there's Joseph, there's Morning Brown.
If your name's Joseph and you're opening a coffee shop and you don't call it Morning Joseph,
that's like you're wrong. From the amazing and underrated movie They Came Together, where Paul Rudd's coffee shop is Cup of Joel.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Morning Brown's great.
Yeah. That's Auntie Donna, another great underrated comedy group.
Yeah, go watch Auntie Donna. You'll find all
Auntie
about
Donna's House of Fun on Netflix. You'll be like, what the fuck is this? It's like the first 10 minutes of this just nonsense.
Yeah, but they made it into a show and they're successful. Whereas we are just two silly goofers.
Just silly goofers. Just making like 7.5 mil an episode. We're not successful.
In this economy, that's not even like anything.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
I remember
buy
when we first started. I think our entire fan base was either people we knew or people who were goths in Eastern Europe. And if you're still listening and you're a goth type person in Eastern Europe,
it's not
we fucking
wrong.
Love you.
Yeah, honestly though, Eastern European, big fans.
I love it. Great part of the world.
Oh man, one of my favorite. I can't walk around in Siberia without somebody stopping me and saying, "Hey, aren't you that guy?"
Polar bear stopping you.
Yeah, polar bears, baby. What was I gonna say, Scony? Do you have a favorite coffee name?
I think it's got to be Morning Brown. Or one time, my cousin, I drink a lot of coffee. No big deal.
Brag much?
But,
I do a lot of sit-ups.
Called me
coffee.
A Java Hound, and I was like,
Java
that's
Hound is
fucking
yeah. This guy's got Java Hound's a good one.
Yeah. Shout out to Evan if he listens.
All right, I'm gonna do. What about I'm gonna make it Monday Morning Macabre themed. How about Bean
Blood?
Bean Goat Bridge.
You had Bean Blood because it kind of is Bean Blood.
Yeah, but that's that sounds like a Goosebumps book. I'm thinking how do I make the Frogman
or the
coffee?
Water, like Lake Lanier water?
Yeah.
Yo, another person went missing last week.
Last week?
Yes, my brother who lives in Atlanta
is drowning people every week.
He'll send me, I shit you not, if you haven't listened to the episode on Lake Lanier, go back and listen. But he sends me, since that came out, probably once a month or once every other month, another person goes missing.
Another picture in his yard of a drowned guy.
Mysteriously dies at that lake. It's
your brother. Or your brother.
You think he's a serial killer?
Yeah. I think he's sending you, this is his sick way of
oh, this is his Zodiac shit.
Yeah.
But not encrypted at all.
Yeah, it's just you track the metadata on that bad boy. Yeah, that's suspicious if you ask me.
All right, well, gauntlet's been thrown.
Heard it here first. We've solved the mystery.
Darce,
Scones,
the Bruins stink.
Yeah, so they lost or something.
Yep, they're the number 1 seed. They got upset by the bottom seed. But as of the time of this recording, the Celtics are still the balls.
As of the time of this recording, I'm still talking to the refs in the DMs, and I'm going to get it overturned.
The Celtics are still the balls.
Still the balls.
And I will, that's it for Boston
That's your
sports talk.
hey guys, that's your update on that's your
We're
sports
from New England.
corner.
Sue us, dude.
So if you guys wanted to get up to date on sports, you come to this podcast for that. So we're glad we could fill you in there.
Yeah, there's no other sports podcasts.
Yep, I think we're the only
There's
one.
two things we need to fill. It's sports and true crime podcasts
Yeah,
because there aren't enough. What do you say, Phil?
Phil.
Oh yes, sorry, I did say the word Phil. Okay, took me a second there. I got you. Sorry. And also, are there car podcasts? Are there a lot of car podcasts, or are we one of the only?
Car Talk Radio.
Car Talk Radio? What is that? Is that serious, or is that a?
No, it's two V6 engines revving at each other.
He got
That sounds
deep. His
amazing.
voice changed. That was weird.
I literally know someone that I think would actually listen to that.
So, yeah, I did too. I think we both know the same person.
He's been a guest on the show.
V6 engines revving at each other. That's kind of what we are in a way, if you think about it.
Kind of, yeah.
Metaphorically.
Just, like, ready to go.
And physically, I have the body of a V6 engine. Very solid frame chest, way too big for my body. I need to get a new chest. How do you?
I have the body of a V4 beat up like Volkswagen Beetle with the spirit of a Tesla. Electric motor.
Yeah, I got the vim and vigor of a Hemi, and the marks to prove it.
Yep.
So
I got the body of one of those bicycles with the real big front wheel from like
the
the
fat tire
1900s,
things, like
yeah,
for the 1900s.
or like the 1910s. Like that
Oh
era.
yeah, the ones that like were like I know what you're talking about. The huge front wheel and they're like really high up.
Like the silly ones. That's what I'm working with.
Yeah, there's no way they invented that and were like, this is not a joke. Like this is real. Like
They were like, this is the silliest
how do you advertise
version.
that to someone and be like, no, for real? Like it's sick.
If you fall off your bike, do you want to feel like you're falling out of a
Yeah,
two-story
right.
building?
Do you want to have to put suicide nets around your bike chain?
Drive this.
Drive this. I don't know if you saw, speaking of cars, because again, we talk about sports and cars here. If
Of
you ever
course.
listened, you know. Did you see the little like ad for like the new Honda, or I forget what the thing was, but like the wheels turn completely sideways and then it just like allows you to park like horizontally. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I've seen like test cars and test
Yeah.
footage for like a long time now of cars being able to do that, but they finally released one that
I
can
don't
do
know
that.
if it's like released. It might also be more test footage, but it's
Yeah.
like it seems like something that it's like not impressive to me anymore. Like that seems like that makes sense. Like that's not like a huge like everybody look at this incredible new feature. It's like I mean I believe it.
I mean, yeah,
Just turn
I
the
don't know how
wheel
it
a little
works.
more to the right.
Yeah, I don't know how it works with
Listen,
like the axles.
listen,
but
no. You don't know how car work? The wheels turn. What do you mean? And then
that is true.
engineers figure it out. It's not that hard.
I've heard they go round and round. At least for
they
buses.
spin me
anyway.
right round.
Oh, sheesh.
Very similar to a record.
Whenever those videos go viral of just these sick one-of-one cars that these companies make, and then it's just like never again.
Yeah,
We
you're never gonna
see
see it ever. Yeah, and I'm like, what's the point? And it's like, I guess probably just to market the business, but let's
I
go.
mean, I guess maybe to test out stuff if they could figure out a way to make it cheap enough to throw
All right.
in.
Scones, 5 seconds. You have to come up with a cool name for a new car brand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, Vromola.
Is it Italian?
Yeah, it's an
It's the
Italian sports car
wait.
called Vromola.
Oh, so it wasn't Uvrumola.
No,
it
it's
was
Vromola.
Vromola. Vromola cheese?
Yeah, I'm sitting here sipping on an espresso, looking at my new Vromola.
That sounds like a nickname for coffee. Like I can't do nothing
Ooh.
until I get my cup of Vromola. Like
I ain't
I can see
even
that.
awake till I drink down some Vromola, baby.
some Vava Vromola. Well, we're getting to that time where we stop talking about our main topics of cars and sports
We
and
have to get
move on down
all right,
to
let's
our
get
B
off the
plot
tracks.
of talking about weird, mysterious, scary, etc. things.
Spooky.
And a spooky.
Macabre, even.
You might even call it a spooky. So, we've got a little special one this week. Because we had a listener who
Yes.
hit us in the DMs. It's DM.
What did they
for
say?
you. Shout out to Chelsea. I'll just say first name. I won't I won't give away her look. You
Not
sent
here
us
to
your.
dox.
She sent us her full name, her mother's maiden name, and her social security number, and I was like, we don't need all this.
No,
This-
you
we
were
just need-
like, this is where you should have this, safe and sound, baby.
Yeah, we'll store this for you. I got a safe in my closet where I store all the listeners' personal information.
It's getting
Sandra,
full.
you gotta go to the doctors, baby. So Chelsea
so
sent
dark.
us. Yeah, sorry, Sandra. Sorry, made up Sandra. Chelsea sent us a message about how she moved into a home from 1968, and she found like original Life magazines in her house.
That's sick.
Yeah, mostly with Bobby Kennedy and JFK.
Was it like, what was it? Yeah, I was going to say the Kennedys.
Yeah, it's
like,
literally just
people being
Kennedys.
like, they'll never get to the moon.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen that TikTok of like top 50 presidents who like
Survived
surviving the Yeah.
survived a drive through Dallas
Yeah.
or whatever it says.
Yeah, it's like coming in at number 46. Anyway, so she sent us a bunch of photographs of these Life magazines and then typed up like the content of this article
Oh my
so
god.
that it's easier to like read on the podcast. And I was like, you're a sweetie patootie.
That's incredible.
You're a hashtag sweets patoots.
Can we gift her like a month of Patreon or something? If
God,
she's
we
not
can't
already?
afford that. So no
I
nice
don't know
of
if
her.
you can even do that.
I don't know if you can either. We'll send you a beanie baby of scones.
That would be
Some call it a
incredible.
voodoo doll, but we'll call it a beanie baby. Beanie babies
My
are just
ankle's been
voodoo
killing me.
dolls for pets, you know? Everything like that?
Essentially. Or they were like crypto before crypto.
Yeah, true. Shout
Dude,
out.
they're, or I guess gold after gold. I don't know. They were
Time
valuable, and then
after
they weren't.
time. Right. They were the tulips of
Oh,
the 90s.
that's a good one.
So yeah, she sent us this article, and I'm gonna fucking read it.
Oh shit! Oh, let me take my sweatshirt off. This is
Listen,
about to be
I
hot.
can't. I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. I'm gonna read this article. So, Scones, today we're talking about Leopoldo Heitor. I don't know. It's a Czech, like Czechoslovakian
It's a Heitor
people.
Himitor.
So I don't know how to pronounce their names, and I'm sorry if you are Czech. More like checkmate.
Got him.
Ooh, new dating app for Czech listeners. It's called Checkmate. What do you think? But with CZECK or CZECH?
What's
All right,
going on
listen.
in the Czech Republic right now?
Honestly, I'm so glad you asked.
Fine.
Okay. Without further ado, band, rip them and play your tunes.
Please do.
And we're back. Scones?
Hi.
Oh, you were just silent. I didn't know if you were like
I
Go
was
on.
no, sorry. I was checking the news on Czechoslovakia. I mean, sorry, I
getting
shouldn't say
updates.
that of the Czech Republic.
Yes, I was going to say they are no longer. So, all right, this is an article from a November 18th, 1966 edition of Life magazine. The article is entitled "The Scene, Rio de Janeiro." At
Nice.
least I think that's what it's titled.
Great beaches.
Great beaches. Oh yeah, I think The Scene is like a probably an ongoing like report thing.
In
But
Brazil?
this one's no, it just in like Time magazine or Life magazine at the time.
So why are they in Rio?
Well, that's just like this edition is Rio de Janeiro.
Ooh.
So
the story does not take place in Rio de Janeiro.
no,
confused.
it does.
Color
okay.
me confused.
I don't think this is that confusing. It's a series called The Scene, and this one takes place in Rio de Janeiro.
When do we get to the Czech Republic? I need to know.
All right. Well, it's titled "A Most Accessible, Most Wanted Fugitive" by Barry Lando. So,
oh my, no fucking way, that's his real name.
yeah, his name's Barry Lando.
He saw. Oh no, this is before Star Wars, so that's just a sick fucking
Yeah,
name.
Barry Lando, the hairy hand bro. So
Harry Mando. Oh,
Harry Mando is also a good name. So yeah, Barry Lando, 1966. This is written like it's like an old
Like Tom
hard-boiled
Clancy?
detective kind of thing.
sick.
But here we go.
Like Nick Cage would play him.
Yeah, like Nick Cannon wrote this. So it was 1 a.m. and I needed another kid.
He was drumming.
It's
I
very
don't know a lot about
drum
Nick
line.
Cannon's career.
You know, drum line and like what
All
about
I know after like my entire knowledge of Nick Cannon is before I was like 11 years old.
yeah, actually same.
And he slime timed and drummed, and that was it.
Oh, he slime timed all right. So it was 1 a.m. in a quiet suburb of Rio. The man sitting across from me in the shadows was the object of a frantic manhunt by Brazilian police. He was Leopoldo Heitor, lawyer, author, playwright, convicted murderer, 3-time escapee from prison, and altogether the most accessible fugitive to practically anybody but the police.
That's
In
the
the end-
most incredible.
Yeah, it's
resume
like I
I've ever
said.
heard.
Yeah, he this dude is a what's the word I'm looking for? Real
Renaissance man.
That's the word. I was going to say Shakespearean fellow. Renaissance man is the correct one. He is known as the Devil's Advocate, but the title hardly does him justice. The fugitive well, let me take that again, and 3, 2. The fugitive take that one more time.
You're right.
3, 2. The fugitive sat with his nails manicured, his mustache trimmed, his manner cool and relaxed, a revolver bulging under his jacket. I got right to the point. Like, it's written in such a detective.
Dude, this has got to be a movie.
Aw, man, my life's a movie, bro.
True.
So, did you kill Dana de Tefe? No. In fact, she is still alive. The charges against me are all part of a communist conspiracy. Maybe.
Dang, commies.
Yeah. Every fan of Leopoldo Heitor, and he has thousands, knows that Dana Edita Fischerova de Tefe was a beautiful, just a classic name, was a beautiful woman with a past as exotic as her name.
God, I'm in love with her already.
Yep. She was born to a Jewish family in Czechoslovakia in 1921. When Hitler invaded, she fled to Italy, where she worked as a showgirl.
Oh, no. Wait, what?
She fled to Italy, where she worked as a showgirl?
Italy was on Hitler's side. What? That seems like one of the worst places to go. But I guess you could just be a showgirl and they stop asking questions.
Yeah, they're like, hey, she's chill. Like, she's totally...
Yo, she's like kind of chill. Like, she likes the same music as me. Like,
she's not like the other girls.
no. She like loves like cool movies and stuff.
When the war ended, she moved to Spain, where she married a prominent dentist, but soon left him and went to Mexico. There she married a... yeah, she's breaking hearts and ripping farts, dude.
Dude, showgirling in Italy to marrying dentists in Spain. To...
What a wild life.
God, I wish that were me.
I wish I could marry a dentist. There she
But they're
married
all
a
taken.
journalist.
Everybody knows.
I know, yeah. So she marries a journalist in Mexico and left him to marry a Brazilian diplomat, a descendant of nobility who took her to Rio. There they separated. So she's just like in and out of relationships left and right.
Yeah, what's that like famous actress's name? She married like 8 people.
Barry Lando.
Yep.
No, you're thinking of Judi Dench.
Nope. Elizabeth. Nope.
Elizabeth Banks.
Give
me more first names.
Who had a lot
Judy Garland.
of husbands.
Shorty Mick.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh,
It's Elizabeth
I was close.
Taylor.
So, enter Leopold Heitor de Andrade Mendez.
Okay.
Again,
Wait.
again, it's not right, but like
that's
my
his
best.
full name.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
his first name. He's got 6 more. So he had already gained notoriety when he fled to Brazil in 1957 after being convicted for attempting to defraud the national treasury of $240,000.
Wow. Well, if you're gonna defraud someone, go
Hey,
straight to the top.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's shooting. Shoot for the moon. If you miss, you get convicted for defrauding the government.
with the stars.
After 2 years, he had won an appeal and returned to Rio, where he and Donna de Tefe became friends. On the evening
I just
of
realized that whole phrase is bullshit.
becoming friends, or are you
No.
like an incel and you're
No, I mean shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you'll be
Oh,
among
yeah.
the stars.
Yeah,
the moon
yeah.
is so much closer than any of those stars.
I mean, sure, but you're among them, dude. You're a Mugus.
Dude, what am I doing with my life? That doesn't make any. Wait, what did you say? Amogus?
Yeah, you weren't like into memes like 4 years ago when Among Us was really popular.
I mean, a more like accurate thing would be like shoot for the moon. If you miss, you might get nailed by a satellite going by.
might get a
Like-
beanbag straight to the dome. Yeah, that'd be sick. Like metal smacks you in the head.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden everyone just like loses their fucking cell service.
And they're like, did somebody try to achieve again? And it's there you go.
It was me.
So,
Okay, let's get back to our story.
let's get back to the story. On the evening of June 29th, 1961, Dana set out with Leopoldo to drive over to Sao Paulo, which they never reached. About 3 a.m., Leopoldo returned alone to Rio with a slight bullet wound in his right thigh.
Uh-oh.
He explained to friends that someone had tried to hold him up. Where was Dana de Tefe? As far as he knew, he said vaguely, she had returned to Europe to look for her mother and wouldn't be back for quite a while.
Okay,
Maybe
so-
never, he told her maid.
So I'm getting a little lost with
Pretty-
names. So
okay.
him and this person go in a
So
car
Leopoldo and Donna de Tefe,
Okay,
who
they
is
go
the
from-
showgirl.
from the showgirl. They go from Rio to Sao Paulo, don't make it, come back. He's alone, and he's like, yeah,
He's
she went to
alone with a
Europe.
gunshot wound, and she's like, yeah, she bailed to Europe. We'll never see her again. Stop asking.
Well,
Awfully
I would say
suspicious.
that's like very suspicious if we didn't know she had a history of just bailing to other countries quite frequently.
It's true, but I mean, the bullet wound seems...
Yeah, it definitely looks sussy.
I
He's
was gonna
suspect.
say this is sussy. I would love there just be like a hardboiled detective, but that's the way he describes things. He's like, I searched the car, and let me tell you, it's pretty sussy.
In this part of town, there's
Yeah.
a lot of things that are sussy.
That's Chinatown. So the next day, Leopoldo registered a signed power of attorney from Dana de Tefe. Then he sold her apartments in Rio and Sao Paulo, cleaned out her $1,500 bank account, disposed another $2,500 in jewels, sold her antiques as gifts to friends. You know, that thing you do when someone says, hey, I'm going to go to Europe for a while.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, Scones, if you ever go to Europe, I'm emptying your accounts. and
Dude, that's what I do
selling
every
all
time
of
I
your
go
stuff.
camping.
Hell yeah. So, indeed, Dana de Tefe did not return, and police began to get suspicious. In March 1962, they finally took Leopoldo into custody. After 3 days of questioning, he told police a slightly different version of the ride to Sao Paulo. He and Dana and another friend had been assaulted by two men on the road south. He said he pulled out his trusty revolver and was wounded in an exchange of shots. But Dana de Tefe, poor Dana, was seriously hit and bled to death in the car. Leopoldo said he told his friends to bury the woman but not to tell him where. Quote, I was afraid I would become impassioned and tried to dig her back up.
Uh-oh, we got a, what's his name?
We got
type
a
of situation.
Carl Deadfinger or whatever his name was.
The guy who lived in the plane in the Florida Keys.
Carl
Go back and listen.
Tansler. Carl
Yes.
Tanzler.
We got a
Yeah,
Carl
we got
Tansler
a-
situation.
We got a Hot Carl situation.
Oh, no.
If you don't know who Hot Carl is, he was a rapper in the mid-90s who is now married to Danielle Fishel.
Really? Good for that.
Let us continue down the macabre storyline.
Ooh. Hope you're not getting too scared, listener.
Hope 90s references don't spook you too much.
Because we got more.
Ryder Strong. That's the jump scare. So
Nirvana.
not unreasonably, the cast of All That were skeptical and called other witnesses.
Wait.
No.
You said it so seriously.
Well, yeah.
That
No,
it
I gotta
was
keep 'em
like-
on their toes.
Other people who, again, might be listening to this and don't have
Yep.
the same kind of brains me and you have would have been like, wait, what?
The special brains we have.
Yeah.
So, not unreasonably, the police were skeptical and called other witnesses. The jeweler to whom Leopoldo had sold Dana's ring, handwriting experts who testified that the power of attorney document was forged, acquaintances of Leopoldo who claimed that his current girlfriend, a curvesome young woman named Vera Regina, was using Dana DeTefe's clothing and jewels. Detectives then
Wait, hold on. Why did they have to add it? What did they call her?
a curvesome
Yeah.
young because it's 66, dude.
It's 66.
That's why.
This does sound like an amazing movie from the 70s.
Right?
But it's real.
But it's not a movie. It's real people. So behind a fresh coat of paint on the bedroom wall of the house, they found what may have been a newly plastered bullet holes and traces of blood, but there was no trace of a corpse. Meanwhile, Leopoldo had again changed his story and was weaving a gripping tale of international intrigue and high adventure.
Yeah, this is nutty.
This is call the professor, because this one
We got some like voluptuous curvy bullet holes in the wall.
Bullet Bill's looking fucking sussy right now. He's blushing over there.
This journalist who wrote this is just super down bad.
He's like, yeah, I don't want to, I'm going to just keep going. Later in prison, he embellished it in a fulsome autobiography, The Cross of the Devil's Advocate. According to the book, during Dana's stay in Italy, she had a torrid romance with one Ettore Muti, uncontested leader of the fascist youth. It ended with Ettore, I guess it's Ettore. He was machine gunned down and died in her arms. After the war, the story went on, Dana went to Spain disguised as a nun to claim a vast fortune, which Ettore had directed she would receive in case he died. But when she got to Madrid,
like fascist hopping right now.
Yeah,
Wasn't Spain
exactly.
fascist at this point too?
Dude, she's the globetrotter. Let her live her life, dude.
True. Also, he's like the undisputed leader of the fascist youth. Is that like impressive? That sounds like he's like the leader of the schoolyard gang.
Yeah. I don't fucking know.
He's local street toughs.
So when she got to Madrid, the man who was supposed to deliver the loot said he knew nothing about it. And so, in despair, she wandered from Spain to Mexico to Brazil, marrying.
Wait, what
at
about the
each stop.
dentist in Spain?
Well, he was the one he wandered. She went to Spain, met the dentist, then went to Mexico, met the next guy. You know what I mean? Like that was
The journalist. Okay.
This is the precursor.
I'm very invested in this woman's love life.
Yeah, you're like you're like celebrity gossip column. You're E-News right now. One day in Rio, she was approached by members of the Czech spy ring who offered to help her recover the fortune if she would take on a little work on their behalf. She refused. Thereafter, she feared for her safety, and on the night of June 29th, while en route to Sao Paulo, she confided the story to her new friend Leopoldo. But already, it was too late. Suddenly, they were cut off by 2 cars, and 10 men piled out shooting. Brave Leopoldo grabbed his gun, and although it jammed briefly, he was able to wound one of the assailants before he himself was wounded. The kidnappers grabbed Dana and took off. Why, I asked Leopoldo, had he lied in his earlier account? Because Dana's last request was that he not tell a soul. I don't know why that would be her. Why? Imagine getting kidnapped and be like, "Don't tell anybody.
Please don't tell anybody." Maybe it was
This
reverse
is so
psychology.
embarrassing.
I swear I'd never get kidnapped.
I won't be prom queen if they know. So, though the police had not turned up Dana's body, Leopoldo was tossed into prison to await trial for murder. In October 1962, he escaped and drove west. I was headed behind the Iron Curtain to Czechoslovakia to look for Dana DeTefe. The police tracked him down in a small frontier city, arrested him, and flew him back to Rio. There, they slapped him into a maximum security cell. It took him almost...
International police was this together at this point? Like after the World
dude.
War? Like the Brazilian police were still hunting people down in Europe?
Just this one guy. Like, you know what?
Europe needs to like fully reconstruct itself, and Brazil's like, get out of the way.
Well, they're like, we could hunt thousands of people and catch none of them, or we could take all our resources and fuck this one guy up. And that's one more than they would have had, you know?
True.
It's called niching down. So the police tracked him down. where they slapped him into a maximum security cell. It took him almost 2 months to figure out a way to escape, but he finally managed it. On Christmas Eve, police fanned out in a new manhunt, but called it off when word arrived that Leopoldo had been machine gunned down trying to cross the Uruguayan border.
Man, a lot of people getting machine gunned down.
Yeah, it was a different time, dude. Listen, back then, that's what happens. So the police were momentarily relaxed and congratulating themselves, and Leopoldo chartered a plane to Argentina. So the article goes on a bit, and I'll get towards the end because we've got some more just kind of in and out of prison, taking trips to Czechoslovakia, looking for Donna.
Who's among us hasn't done a couple stints?
You know, listen, do time. If you do the crime, you do the time.
Was there any whirlwind romance in those prisons? It was like he married someone who came for conjugal visits, or like...
Yeah, actually,
like,
The Notebook is based off of his time in a maximum security cell. Yeah.
They had all those cypress trees in prison.
Yeah. He got in the water, dude.
I don't know if I mentioned this, but a couple months ago, I went on vacation to South Carolina, and I went to where they filmed The Notebook, and I was in a boat paddling around a bunch of alligators. It was sick. All right,
Did
so
you
in and out of prison.
Okay, in and out of prison. So let's see. Leopoldo remained behind bars until his appeal came up for jury trial in March this year. This year being 1966.
Of course.
He helped present a masterful defense before the packed courtroom. When the jury announced a 5-2 verdict in his favor, the spectators applauded wildly, but the state appealed the verdict and Leopoldo was kept in confinement.
They can do that?
Yeah, they can just be like, fuck you, get back in the cell.
Nice try, idiot. Get back in
Yo,
there.
you thought this was a real trial, you dumbass? That would be so crazy.
Well, what country is this in?
This is in the country of Springfield, Missouri. No, it's in Argentina.
Okay.
When the jury... Now he used the time to write an atrocious drama version of his autobiography and persuaded a professional group to stage it. I don't think we have the name.
How do I buy it? What's his name? His full name?
Leopoldo. You want like the full name, or do you want like the?
I want the full name he would have used as an author.
Oh man, probably like Jerry Maguire.
Oh no, what's his name in this?
Leopoldo Heitor, Heitor. So he gets people to put a play on of his life at a seedy downtown theater. The Federal Supreme Court ruled to uphold the original 54-year conviction, and Leopold's lawyers immediately appealed, but he himself had other plans. During one of his frequent visits to the theater, for which he had wrangled permission, he said he wanted a closer look at the stage sets. He left his trusting guard by the door, entered the empty theater, and walked towards the darkened stage. When the lights came on, he had vanished.
Wait. That's so cinematic.
Yeah, right? The next day, in a dramatic telephone interview, Leopoldo told reporters he had fled because of dreadful prison conditions. No shit. So there's bad prison conditions, so he's like, I gotta get out of here.
It wasn't very comfortable, so
he
staged an elaborate escape.
Not even 2-ply. So he had to leave. He said he would return only when police agreed to improve them. No negotiations. Stormed the police, and they continued their search.
Uh-oh.
During my visit, Leopoldo, with visible pride in all the furor that surrounds him, said he was completing a book on his adventures in Czechoslovakia. I'm going to return to Czechoslovakia, he said, to search for Dana again. Of course, it will be more dangerous, but if I don't come back, well, that will be proof in itself. I want to keep on being a lawyer. Oh, wait, I skipped. That would be a weird thing if he just said that out of the blue. By then, it was almost 3 a.m. What will you do, I wound up, if you're finally found innocent? I want to keep on being a lawyer, he replied. Maybe I'll also write novels. I like fiction a lot. He may get a lot more time. Yeah, he may get a lot more time to write. A few days after our talk, he was picked up to the dank North Brazilian town of Macapa as wow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's a dank town, bro. Macapa is dank this time of year. So he was picked up as Moises Grovitz.
Oh, no. Is he smoking a jazz cigarette in that dank-ass
Probably. He's like, what do you mean, Leopoldo? I'm Moises.
I'm Moises. I love the reefer.
So he's on his way to French Guiana. You could let me continue traveling, he complained to the local policeman.
It's true.
Other police in other cities let me go when they recognize me, which is crazy.
Dude, this slick talking son of a bitch.
They didn't, and he went back to Rio under
Ah.
heavy guard for the moment. And that is the end of the article
That's
of the scene by Barry Lando.
that's amazing. This is
So
I can't tell if I like this guy or if he's terrible. Because if he didn't do any of the horrible shit, then he's actually one of
Yeah.
the coolest people I've ever heard.
he is a very eccentric individual regardless. He
Also,
seems like
was it that easy to travel internationally back then?
dude, you could just fucking go play. I don't know. Apparently, because he was just like, yeah, I went like a million different countries, no problem, while I was on a manhunt. So
I found a book called Lastro de Chumbo. I don't know if that's him, but it's by a Leopoldo Heitor de Andrade Mendez.
That's a new nickname, Lastro de Chumbo. So shout out to Chelsea. Thank you so much for sending that in and taking all the time to write all that up. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, you went above and beyond. That was amazing.
Above and beyond the Call of Duty. Thank you so much. I hope listeners, if you run into like Turkey de Chumbo or whatever his name was, put him in jail. And you know,
first ask him what he's been up to because it's probably going to be an amazing story.
Yeah,
And
he's
then-
like, have I told you about Dana de Tefe?
He's
everyone's
"I
like,
was in
yes, every
Spain
time.
fighting bulls. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a pretty much like a Hemingway character. This guy,
right. He's written like 6 autobiographies.
He's lived 8 lives.
Right. So thank you, Chelsea,
thank you.
again. Thank you, listeners, for listening. Keep an ear to the ground and your nose to the grindstone.
Amen, brother.
That's our new like outro phrase because it's now like an entrepreneurial podcast.
Yep. And
No, but we got some hot chocolate in the works. So I hope you guys are excited for some exciting stuff to happen. And
we'll see if it works out.
we'll see if it works out. But if it does, oh baby,
Oh, baby, the payoffs will be sweet.
the payoffs.
I'm going. If I get this, I'm going to Spain, finding a dentist, getting married, getting divorced.
finding a journalist, getting married, getting divorced.
I'm gonna get so married and so divorced.
Oh man.
That's the dream.
So leave a rating if you haven't. It really helps us out. Tell a friend. Check out MM Macabre Pod on Twitter, Monday Morning Macabre on Instagram, and MondayMorningMacabre.com for merch and Patreon and all that jazz. And if you like the 60s, go read the old Life magazine excerpts. And besides that, I love you so much. Goodbye.
Love you so much. Bye.
Bye. Mwah.
Thank you.